Good evening, Android coders. Tonight, we are going to discuss how to set up Android Studio for Firebase. This is a very important topic because as Android developers, there would come a time that your app would need to connect to a certain backend. And one of the most popular backend nowadays is Google's Firebase. This Firebase is a uh, can be considered a real-time database because it's different from what we used to like PHP and MySQL implementation. This is faster than that because Firebase is designed for chat applications. So let's go ahead. Before you could connect to a Firebase backend by Google, you need to set up a few things. So let's go ahead and discuss I have listed here 12 steps which which is required for every developer to do before he can or she can do some coding or make his or her app communicate with a Firebase backend. So let's go ahead, let's go to the next slide. So the best way to show this to everyone is to demo each step. So the first step is to start Android Studio and choose an empty activity template. So let's go ahead, let's start Android Studio. So click start a new Android Studio project and let's name it our first Firebase app. So everything here is default, so just click next. And in order to implement Firebase, your API should be at least API 9 or Android 2.3 Gingerbread. So click next and choose an empty activity. So just go with the default here, click finish. So it's setting up everything here. Our Gradle is building. Okay, so we now have an empty activity here. So here it is. So Gradle build is running, so the red errors here would disappear in a while after it has been set up. So okay, the red errors are gone. So we now have an empty activity template in our Android Studio. So the next step is for us to, so here you should choose at least API 9. It's the minimum version supported for Firebase development. So the number 3 step is in your build.gradle. So you have build.gradle here, then open close parentheses, you have project and whatever is your project name. So you have to add the class path to Google services as part of your dependencies. So here it is, class path com.google.gms colon google-services colon 3.0.0. So just copy this one. Let's just copy this one and add this to our dependency. So go to your Gradle scripts. So we have here build.gradle and project and then our project name. So double click that one, and as you can see here, you can add a additional class path dependencies for our Google services. So paste. So for now, If you see that your Gradle files had changed, all you have to do is just click sync. But let's just disregard this now because we are gonna add more to our build.gradle on the module of the app. So let's go back to our PowerPoint presentation, or I mean keynote. So number 4 step is to then in your build.gradle module (app), apply the Google Services plugin. So let's apply the plugin at the bottom of our build.gradle for the module of the app. So click build.gradle module app. So put it at the bottom here. So do not put it inside your dependencies, and do not include this as part of your dependencies, but put this at the bottom. So apply plugin com.google.gms.google.services. So now you can sync, in step number 5, sync your Gradle files by clicking sync now on the upper right portion of your screen. So let's go ahead, let's click sync now. So Gradle is syncing. After syncing, you would encounter an error. So here it says file google.services.json is missing. This is normal because we have not yet downloaded the google.services.json file, because it can be downloaded in your Firebase console. So let's go back. So after you, it's here in number 6, it's stated here, after you sync, you will see an error that there's a missing Google services. This will be fixed from the Firebase console. Go to Firebase. So the new console for Firebase, this is the new dashboard, console.firebase.google.com. On the legacy console, it's just firebase.com, but we'll be using the new console. So if you already have a Firebase account, if you don't have, you can just use your Google login to log into your Firebase account. So it's here, log into your Firebase account using your Google login credentials. So let's go ahead. So here I have already connected to my Firebase console. So I have a project here named USAP. So USAP is a project which one app is connected to it, meaning I have already an app that's connected to this. And so I can decide to create a new app for our project now, or just use this existing project for my new app. So let's go back to our steps. So number 7, if you don't have a project yet for your app, create one and follow the steps required provided by Firebase. So just go ahead and create your app, and Firebase will guide you through the steps. Once done, you will see the project on the Firebase dashboard as shown above. Select the project or as shown. Sorry for that. So select the project and you will see the apps associated with it. So here, let's select the project. Okay, we're inside. So as you can see here, I already have an existing app connected here. So if you click here, click manage, you can see that it's already set up. It has the SH1, SHA1, and the package name. So for our app now, we should be clicking the add app button as shown in the upper right. upper right portion, and then we select Android. So if I click add app here, I'm given three choices: add Firebase to your Android app, or add Firebase to your iOS app, or add Firebase to your web app. So Firebase is really flexible. It's useful for iOS, for Android, and for even for web apps. So you click add Firebase to your Android app, and let's go back. You will now need the package name and the SHA1. So is here, as you can see, it's asking for your package name. The package name is the package that you have, the name that you have configured for your app when you created it. So, and then I'll show you how to get this SH-1. Although this is optional, we'll be getting this one. So what's your package? Actually, your package is your app, our first Firebase app. So just go to your main activity.java. So you can see here the package is com.android studio 101, our first Firebase app. So copy this one. Okay. So how do we get the SHA1? So you paste or type the package name and the SHA1 where they are required, as shown in the first image. Actually, this is in my blog. Got it. So let's just do it here. Then click add app. The Google Services JSON file will now be downloaded to your computer. So let's see how this is done. So let's go to my blog. Actually, it's here in my blog. Okay. In order to get the SHA1, you need a command that you shall be using on your terminal, or if you are in your PC at your command prompt. So just copy here. I'm using a Mac here, so I'm using the terminal. So I'm gonna paste it here. So in order to get that key tool, you just go to my blog at androidstudio101.com. It's on the latest post that I have. So you can get the key tool command there on step number 9. So let's press enter. When asked for a password, just click enter and you get your SHA1 here. So just highlight it, then copy and go to your Firebase console and paste it, and then just remove the part here, the SHA1. We only need the numbers. So you click add app, and what are the steps here? Click continue. Now Firebase will even remind us to add a class path and plugin, which we have already done or added at steps 3 and 4. So it's here. So if you click continue, and actually the JSON file should have been downloaded in that previous step. So we click finish. So maybe the Firebase console have detected that I have already downloaded the Google .services.json. Actually, in the previous setup, it has provided me that. So here, actually we can get it here. Just go here and then manage, And then we can download the latest config file here. So we can download the google.services.json. So did it download it? I think it detected that I already have downloaded it. That's why it's renamed to google.services-2.json. So let's go ahead and get this one and show in my Finder. I'll delete the old one and I will rename it. I'll remove the 2. Okay, so I have here my google.services.json. So I'm gonna drag it to my app folder. So before you do that, you change from Android view to project files view in order for the app folder to show. So here, let's drag this google.services.json to the app folder and release. And it's gonna ask something like, just click OK on these choices and click OK again. And then after that, there will be no more errors. Actually, it's syncing. We have to sync. I think it's still building. So we now have google.services.json. Let's look at this one. So what you do is just to close your Android Studio, and if you open it again, it's already refreshed and errors will be no more. Okay, so restart our first Firebase app. Okay, so let's check if we have errors here. Okay, actually the errors are gone. So let's just check. Actually, we have 2 apps here. So the USAP project already have 2 apps here. So let's check. So we have the original app that's included in this project and the brand new app that we have, so this one. So we already have this Android Studio 101 that our first Firebase app. Actually, the errors when we restarted Android Studio, there's no more errors here. So just to check, let's run our app. So it has already rendered. So let's run the app and we can see that so we have an existing connected device here. So let's run and we can see that it would be running now. So Gradle build is running and we're off to see if it runs on our emulator, meaning if it runs, there's no more error, and we are ready to create a code that would save data into Firebase and fetch data from Firebase. So this is it. Our code has run. So that means so what happened, because google.services.json is already inside our app folder, thus errors are gone. There's no more errors in our messages here. No more error message. So build successful. We have successfully configured our Android Studio app to connect to Firebase, to save data into Firebase, and to fetch data from Firebase to edit data in our Firebase project or Firebase app inside that project. So that's it. Congratulations to us. Congratulations to me for being able to bring this set of steps to you on how to make your app, Android Studio app, ready for Firebase development. So on my next video, I'll be showing you an actual code that would save data and fetch data from Firebase or edit data into Firebase. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.